All right, got a super special guest today. I'm here with Chris Thom. This realtor's dope. You can see it. You can read it right on his shirt. He's the dopest realtor out there. Chris, tell everybody a little bit about. Everybody wants to know what's going on in the market right now. So let's start off. Elephant in the room. What's going on in the housing market right now?
Well, the housing market obviously is a little bit different. It's not what it was 2 years ago, right? We still have an inventory problem, right? We're seeing listings kind of sit on the market a little bit longer in certain areas. But one thing I would say about our Atlanta market is, especially the area that we're in right now, I just feel like we're in like a little bubble still. We're seeing things actually continue to move relative to what you may hear on the news where, listings sit in 60 days. We're still seeing activity, but with limited inventory, it's not much activity that we can see. So that's why prices have been kind of sustaining at this point.
Yeah, so one of my thesis is that, we're seeing a crash, not in values, but a crash in transactions. We're just not seeing the amount of transactions because of the lack of inventory. We've got, the builders are not keeping up at the pace we need them to at the moment. There's no doubt, obviously, interest rates, are up. They're elevated right now.
Yep.
How is that affecting you and your clients? Are you seeing that hurt their eligibility? Talk a little bit about interest rates and how they're affecting your clients.
They are, right? Because I think it's people are not able to, fathom that they can't get the type of home that they could have got a couple years ago, right? What you can get, with a 3% loan is going to change when rates are in the sevens, right? But we just have to be strategic. We have to be strategic and look at everything in its entirety, right? What can we do? What can we do to help these people get into these homes, right? What type of financing is available to kind of help these people get into these homes?
So you're known, over the years I've known you, you've always talked about putting renters or turning renters into home buyers. Is that still the case? Is that still your primary goal, working with renters, turning them into home buyers? Tell everybody what your goal is and how you do that right now in this market.
So a lot of what I do, like Darren just said, turn renters into homeowners, right? Because I feel like everybody should own where they rest their head at. And with rent prices going up, mortgage prices are going up, but guess what? You're still able to gain equity, right? And essentially turn that into cash flow opportunities. We could dive into that in a minute, but that will always be my goal. No matter what the market does, turning renters into homeowners is going to be key. Right? Because rent prices are going to continue going up. They never go down, right? And you never get an ROI on paying rent. Whereas you have your mortgage, you can get an ROI, right, on your mortgage payment. And by ROI, I mean the appreciation of that asset.
Sure.
Right?
Sure. So over the last month or so, we've seen some pretty reputable companies come out with expectations for appreciation. Redfin, Black Knight, Zillow, and basically they're estimating that 2023 we're going to see appreciation anywhere from like 6 to 10%. So talk about how that sort of appreciation, helps somebody who's buying a home now in the future. How does that continue to help them, so they sets them up for the future, if they were to buy now, even at these elevated rates, knowing that appreciation is still taking place?
So I look at it this way. I like to put numbers to things, right? So I'm not going to bore you guys, I promise. But I like to put numbers into things, right? If your rent is $3,000, you've paid $36,000 out the door, right? You just mentioned 6 to 10% appreciation. Bought a property, let's say $400,000, right? 10%, $40,000, right? That property that appreciates at $40,000 a year, right? You're paying down your mortgage, right? But if that property appreciates at $40,000 a year, in 5 years, if the trend continues, what would that amount be that you've accrued in equity? That you can now tap into, right? By doing either HELOC, cash out refi, depending on the rates, right? What can you leverage that in to create more assets, more opportunity?
So you just said the magic word. I was hoping you were going to say that, leverage. So why is using leverage such a key component to owning or controlling real estate? Talk a little bit about the importance of leverage.
The importance of leverage, it allows you to grow in scale, right? It allows you to grow your net worth, right? Instead of having control of one asset, which is your primary residence, now, would you be able to leverage that equity? Now you can, in sense, turn it into another $500,000 asset that you have control over. And just kind of keep building, right? Not many people are looking to be investors in real estate, but this is like the simple way just to kind of add to your portfolio.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, so I mean, you're taking advantage of, you already said it, appreciation, but you're also taking, you said paying down your balance. It's amortization. So, you have a compounding effect where you're getting not only that appreciation, you're getting that amortization too. And then if you're an investor and then you're receiving rent on top of that, now you have cash flow in addition to the amortization and the appreciation. So lots of things, lots of ways to use leverage to help put you in a better position. And speaking of homeowners and renters, the numbers are the Federal Reserve just came out with these numbers. These aren't my numbers. The Federal Reserve just said that homeowners are 40 times more wealthy than renters. So I think definitely more challenging. Affordability is an issue for sure. I mean, I think we can all agree on that. Wages are not keeping up with the pace with interest rates, not keeping up with the appreciation. So home affordability is definitely down. That's probably one of the other crises that we're dealing with.
Right.
Now, all right. So let's turn change gears just a little bit here. So you were just gone for about a week. So for those that don't know, tell everybody a little bit about your history, what you also do, because you're not just serving your borrowers and your buyers and your sellers, you're also serving the country.
Yes. So for many guys that don't know, Air Force veteran, still currently in the Air Force Reserve, going on my 12th year. Like Darren just said, I just came back from contingency training. No need to dive into it, but just know that I still have my boots on the ground, and I'm happy to do it.
Yeah. Now, how has been serving, the country and serving, help serve your clients going forward? I mean, are there anything that you can share with us that the training that you've done over the last 12 years has helped provide you a benefit to your customers, your clients?
I think it's discipline, right? It's a multitude of things, but I think it's discipline. I think it's strategy. You always hear me use the word strategy,
Yeah.
But I also find it valuable that I'm able to understand that side of things, right? I try to help people who have currently served, try to help them leverage their VA loan, right? Help people get more out of their time served, right? A lot of people don't think about that, don't think about the end game, and I just try to help them kind of figure that out, because we have a lot of people that are out of the military right now that don't know the benefits that are still available to them and how to tap into them. So it's just provide an opportunity, strategy.
Yeah. I'll say, I've got a very few agents that I work with that are well-versed as you are when it comes to VA mortgages and understanding the benefits that they have. So definitely an asset if you're choosing an agent, choose Chris Thom when it comes to your VA. Talk a little bit about, what's going on in the community. What are you doing in the community? You've got a family that you're raising here, and raising a family in the community. What's important to you? What do you want to see in the Woodstock area or wherever else that your family's running around at?
Oh man, I want to see a lot more small businesses, come into our community. That kind of have different things. They do different things, right? We don't want a oversaturated market of new businesses, right? We want, whether it is the hair salons, the sneaker stores. I like sneakers. Just so many different niches, for lack of better words. Like you mentioned, I do have my kids in the community. My oldest is a high school senior, scaring the crap out of me right now. So just want to make sure that the schools are also providing, that proper education, the proper opportunity, for them. The community we live in, it's the growth that I've seen since I've been here, right? I've been here a couple years, and the growth that I've seen and the sustainability, I think that's the key, right?
Absolutely. I think the mayor said it best. If you're not growing, you're dying. He talked over at the Woodstock Business Club a while back, and that always resonated with me. But responsible growth. We don't want to outgrow. Some people argue that we probably have outgrown our little downtown Woodstock area, but either way, a topic for another video.
But you know what that means? We just got to expand it a little bit.
There is. We'll just we'll annex some more properties in, more tax revenue. Absolutely.
That's all that means.
All right. So what are you excited about? gets you up in the morning right now? Like, what are you fired up about right now?
Oh man, I think within these last couple months, there's been a lot of opportunities that have kind of came across my, I like to say, came across my belt, but I can't really talk too much about it because I always feel like when I say something before it happens, it never happens. So I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. But just the opportunity, the people that I'm surrounding myself with,
Yeah.
right? You just mentioned Woodstock Business Club. We do a lot of networking within the community, which puts us, at arm's length within a lot of different people.
Right.
And different people providing different opportunities.
Right.
Right. So just a lot of, just of what's to come.
Sure.
Right. Excited of what's to come and how to grow it.
I love it. Now, you're also part of another pretty successful networking group up in Canton. Talk a little bit about that.
Canton Business Club that we started a year after Woodstock Business Club, and we get probably about 50 to 60 consistent people, and it's just a bunch of small businesses in the local community that that want to be around like-minded people, right? That want to we have kind of like a family kind of feel, right? Whether it's you're feeling down, whether you have a great idea that you want to share, whatever the case may be, it's a great group to help grow your business and get the support that's needed to grow your business.
When do you guys meet?
We meet every Wednesday, 8 a.m. at the Reformation in Canton.
Okay. And then, all right, so, before we sign off here, give some advice to what would you say that would be the most important piece of advice, I'm putting you on the spot, I know, to a first-time home buyer. Talk a little bit about that.
First piece of advice, you got to call me. Right? You got to call me first. That's the first piece of advice.
I'll tee that up for him.
Reason being, right, and how I like to, not putting everything out there, but I really like to understand my clients and see where they're at, what their goals are, right? Because I can't put your goals on you. If I don't know what your goals are, or I can't see how you think or how you view things, I can't really see how to help you. So call me first. Let's see what we could do. If your aspiration is to own a home, all right, let's look at a few things. Let's look at your credit. Let's look at, your income, right? If there's some issues there, let's figure out how we can fix it. Let's give ourselves a timeline, give ourselves a game plan to stick to. That's the first thing I would do.
Okay. Now, you brought up something that I want to touch on. So I've seen you in the past help and work with clients to help improve their credit scores or maybe build credit or establish credit.
Yeah.
Where does that knowledge come from?
Trial and error. Trial and error, but also associating yourself with, a couple people that are also knowledgeable in this space. But I don't teach anything that I don't do myself, right? Whether it's establishing personal credit or establishing business credit, how to keep things on your business side versus your personal side to help you, kind of grow your business and personal credit. So, again, came from trial and error, but also educating myself.
Yeah. So I would say, when you're working with Mr. Chris Thom over here, this realtor's dope. You're getting, a well-rounded individual that understands how to get it done, how to get you into a property, whether that's a first-time home buy, a move up, an investment property. Chris is able to make it happen. He gets things done. And, if you want to reach Chris, where can everybody find you?
Hey, if you guys don't know, it's simple. This Realtor is dope on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. I promise you get everything but my blood type.
All right. Well, listen, you may have seen Chris. He was on a segment of American Dream TV with us back in December. I think it aired in January, if I'm not mistaken. And he and Chris Mack, who you work pretty closely with on a regular basis, we had a great day out there. It was a rainy, cold day, and this is sort of a remake of that particular interview that we did because it was our first couple episodes that we did. We were learning a few things and talk about trial and error. We definitely have learned, and now we're understanding how to produce better content, better interviews. And we all as a team have grown, since that, especially when we're doing our videos. So thank you for coming back out. Absolutely. I appreciate it. We're looking forward to showing everybody who you are and what you're all about. And listen, my name is Darren Hunter. This is Mortgage Right, downtown Woodstock. If we can help you with anything, if I need to connect you with Mr. Chris Thom, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Otherwise, we'll see you out there. Have a great day. This is a guaranteed message.